Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video post, I want to talk about My Brother's Keeper and the sinister coding behind it. On the surface, it looks like a nice federal government program truly aimed at increasing the quality of youth life in this nation, especially that of black youth and those from low income situations. But the coding that is all over this program shows what its real intentions are about, and it's nothing nice, Truth Seeker. So I'm going to go through the program, show you what it's all about in case you haven't been following the headlines. Very briefly, what you should know is it was announced February 27th, 2014. Notice that date, 227, is that sequence that relates to pi. If you divide 22 by 7, you get the number for pi, which has to do with circles, which has to do with cycles. And many critics of this program have pointed out that many programs since the early 90s have been launched like this. All of them have failed. They haven't produced anything. And I suspect the same will be true of this program. Could even have opposite effects. You know, you have to remember you live in a nation where they once had a program, well, I mean, it's still in existence, but they called it No Child Left Behind. And all that program did was made it that much harder for disadvantaged youth. Now in this nation, there's more kids crammed into more outdated schools in poorer districts. This is true all throughout the nation, even where I'm from here in Seattle. If you're not aware, Seattle is one of the most segregated cities in the United States. At Dearborn Street, South Seattle, it's all minorities. The white population lives north. And I used to be a teacher down in South Seattle. So, as a teacher, let's go through these bullet points, knowing it's aimed at a community like the one I once taught in. The first goal is notice that this program has 6 goals. They sure love that number 6. The first goal is ensuring all children enter school cognitively, physically, socially, and emotionally ready. What this is saying is, it's saying a lot of kids come from an environment where they're dealing with trauma from that morning, from the night before, from their entire life up to this point. When you come to school with those kind of thoughts and emotions, you're not in the best place to learn. In fact, you might not even be able to learn at all because you can't focus. Your mind's occupied by all the things that have gone wrong for you. And for so many kids, unfortunately, that is the truth of their existence. That's a sad reality. That's true in all of our communities. I didn't realize how many kids were seriously in need in my own community until I worked in a group home. I wish all Americans had experiences like that so they could see what's going on not too far from them. It would be a waking for many. All right, next goal. Ensure all children read at grade level by 3rd grade. Well, this is a great goal. So many students right now are reading at a kindergarten, 1st grade level, essentially meaning not reading when they're in 5th and 6th grade at the end of their elementary school career. And at this day and age, with No Child Left Behind, it has changed school curriculum. Kids are getting exposed to more topics and having less time to master those topics. So by the time they get in 5th grade, they're bombarded with all this information, and if their reading skills aren't up to par, they're all the further left behind. What's been done to education has compounded how hard it is for those to learn, for those who start from a disadvantaged position from the beginning. I hope I said that clearly. I might have muddled that, but I think you get my point. The next one, ensure all youth graduate from high school. You know, I guess it sounds nice. Unfortunately, our education system, though, as is, it's by the time you get out of high school, you haven't really learned that much. You've been socialized, you've learned our false history, you've learned your country's great based on a bunch of lies, and you might have some decent math and reading skills. But all your time in school, you haven't really been taught how to apply your skills. So when we say graduate from high school as is, it's not really that great. I mean, think about it. Think about your high school career. How many skills did you learn that you could actually apply to this world? Reading and basic math? What else? You know? We need something better. We need a way better education system. that actually shows how to take the knowledge in the classroom and apply it to your daily life. And with each day, you learn another skill that you can apply to your life. If school was that way, by the time you got out of high school, you could probably be a doctor, a lawyer, and a whole bunch of other things. You know, they waste our time in school, instilling the false history, teaching a bunch of stuff that doesn't pertain, that confuses. It's all by design, truth seeker. The education system, it's well understood by many, and it has been for decades, that the way the education system is set up is a total disservice from the time people get up. Okay, so moving on. Next point, ensuring all youth complete post-secondary education or training. I actually like this one a lot because this, to me, is teaching a skill that can be applied to this world. An electrician, carpenter, hairstylist, etc. I wish there was more of this in our high school time. You know, a lot of us know what we want to do or have an idea, and if we could go into something like that, it would probably keep enrollment up higher and graduation rates higher. That's what they do in Europe. Ensuring all youth out of school are employed. Again, how are you going to do this? For example, the community that I taught in had no employment opportunities. There was, a liquor store, a really small mechanic shop, a Chinese restaurant, a Chinese market, a McDonald's, a Safeway that had the worst produce selection I've ever seen in a grocery store. You know, I lived in North Seattle where the white population lived, nicer place. I lived next to a Safeway, which was a pretty nice Safeway. Safeway's not even the greatest store. But then I'd go down to where I taught. The Safeway down there was a dump with produce that looked like it was rotting. It was sick to look at. So anyway, my point is if you live in a community where there's low opportunity, how are you going to ensure, this is a way bigger thing. This is about rebuilding communities that are hurting. And like all government things, it says do these things, the word ensuring, but how are they going to ensure? It's like when they give us environmental standards that are for 20 years down the road. Don't you love that? These environmental standards will go into effect in 2038. It's just like, what? How old am I going to be in 2038? Does that mean I got to live another 25 years of this with poison? I mean, come on. And let's see, moving on. Last point, the sixth point, ensuring all youth remain safe from violent crime. Again, how are you going to do this? The reason this kind of stuff happens, there is a lot of violence and crime in poor areas, and it's not because the people there are bad. Again, it's because they don't have opportunity. And the way the system's set up, once you get consequences, whether they be legal, banned from school, you're then thrown to the next group of opportunity, which becomes the criminal element, So that's the program. Let's go through it and talk about why it's sinister. For starters, when he gave this speech on February 27th, he had it open with a young black youth named Christian Champagne, a very weird name. One of these names you find, it just sounds like one of the names that we find in these hoaxes. Also, notice the CC initials. I want to go off on a side point, but I'll ignore it. Notice the name Christian has a Gematria of 47. Yesterday, he gave a speech, and he referenced a youth, probably a made-up youth also, with a 47 name. We'll get to that. So this is February 27th, 2014. Remember the significance of that 227 date? Cycles and circles. On July 21st, 2014, yours truly turned 31 this day. That's my birthday, July 21st. But look at the numerology of this day, Truth Seeker. 7 plus 21 plus 14, a date with 42 numerology, which is so significant to this My Brother's Keeper and everything happening in this nation with black youth as well as black men. This number is coded all over black men for the entire history of our nation. Part of how I know this is a very sinister program. So on this day, Obama announces a $100 million expansion on My Brother's Keeper. And if you read the article, it doesn't really tell you how this money is going to be spent. You know, it mentions pro athletes, corporations, but it just really makes me wonder how the money's going to be spent. I wish it just said it was going to pay for more teachers in these kind of communities. Maybe they're going to have classroom size in a bunch of cities. That's not what they said, though. So the next time we heard about it was when the Ferguson unrest started. Then My Brother's Keeper came back up in the media. We heard about it in February 2014, July 2014, and then during the Ferguson unrest, also 2014. I'll show you how all this connects, Truth Seeker. We also heard about it yesterday, May 4th. So, what's it all about? Let's go back to this date, July 21st, 2014, in the 42 numerology. The program is called My Brother's Keeper. And I want you to notice that the word brothers has a gematria of 42. Think about what brothers was slang for. I mean, it still is, I guess, but it used to be a more common way. It used to be a way to reference a group of black guys. The brothers, you know? You'd say, oh, the brothers. Everybody knew that meant you were talking about a group of black guys. It has this gematria of 42. And if you've been following my recent video posts, you know about 42 and black men. We're going to get more to it because I figured out even more since. But I want to look at the whole program name, My Brother's Keeper. When it was first announced on February 27th, the word that stood out to me was keeper, because I understood the significance of 33 gematria. This program, when Obama brought it up, was first referenced to Trayvon Martin. TM, another fictional character, just like Freddie Gray. Those initials sum to 33. His attacker is George Zimmerman. G's the 7th letter, Z's the 26th. George Zimmerman sums to 33. Trayvon Martin was buried on 3/3, March 3rd. March 3rd, the anniversary of the Rodney King beating, which we're also going to get to. But look at this program. My Brother's Keeper has Pythagorean gematria of 86. The word triangle and pyramid sum to 86, an often coded number. Date we bombed Hiroshima. Date with 33 numerology. So, this number 42, also notice M, B, and K. M breaks down to 4, B breaks down to 2, K breaks down to 11 and 2. So MBK is 422. Begins with that 4-2 beginning. Remember the $100 million endorsement, the first funding of the program came just days before the Michael Brown shooting, which was August 9th. The initials MB break down to 4 and 2. Ferguson and Missouri, the site of the shooting, both have gematria of 42. My Brother's Keeper, 42. This number coded all over black men. Let's just skip right now to the Rodney King, and then we'll come back to Obama's speech yesterday. So the Rodney King riots began April 29th, 1992. California and Maryland are the only two states with 88 gematria. We just had riots, and I'm putting parentheses around my fingers right now, you can't see, in Baltimore. It seemed like it was mostly a made-by-TV, for-TV production. But the point is what was going on in Baltimore was on the anniversary of what happened in California in light of Rodney King. In the two states, the only states with 88 gematria. The original video released of Rodney King, of him being beat by the police, was 8 minutes and 8 seconds in length. Not a coincidence, Truth Seeker. Rodney King, though, was beat more than a year earlier on March 3rd. Beat more than a year earlier on March 3rd. Rodney King's birthday is April 2nd, 4-2. The word nigger has a gematria of 42 with the double 59 coding in it. 5-9 at the beginning ends the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 becomes 5. I is the 9th. And ER, E's the 5th. R's the 18th. 1 plus 8 becomes 9. So this word has a double 5-9 coding, sums to 42. Should be noted 77 in the middle. 77 is the American number. The American meridian is on the 77th meridian. This is a way of, this coded hateful word, I think in numbers, is a way of saying American black man. That's really what the meaning of it is. But it's also been given this hateful intention. What I want you to notice about Rodney King is that in Pythagorean Gematria, his name sums to 59. Again, he has a 4-2 birthday. Marvin Gaye's birthday was April 2nd. He died a day before he turned 45. He died at the age of 44. In Jewish Gematria, the word kill equals 59. In simple English Gematria, the word kill equals 44. Obama's the 44th president. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated 4-4, April 4th. Look at this, True Seeker. The word Negro, slave, and blues all sum to 59. Motown came out in the year 59. Miles Davis came out in 59. Miles Davis' name in Gematria equals 59, just like Rodney King. There was the Parker lynching in 59. Parker equals 33 and 42. The numbers of kafir and nigger. We're going to talk about kafir too. Think about Obama's legacy. One of them is going to be Obamacare, and here's why it's called that. More of this 59 coding. And there truly is a truth to slavery in Obamacare. We're all now required to participate in one more government injustice. Loretta Lynch, born in 59. Meg Carol Jemison will turn 59 later this year. This is the first African-American woman in space. This is the first African-American woman attorney general. Their birthdays perfectly straddle Obama's. I did a video post on both of these women. Please check that out. It will blow your mind. This is important information. Recall, we were talking about Rodney King. He was beat on March 3rd. The word police has a 33 gematria. LAPD in simple English gematria equals 33. That's who beat Rodney King. Just like KKK. And if you watch that video, it looks like those men must have all worn sheets when they were off shift. There's literally a guy on the side spinning something that looks like a metal chain. I mean, it's just disgusting. And the date of the riots were on 4/29. 4 plus 29 is another 33. Initials RK break down to 9 and 11. Numerology, date numerology was 116. 911 upside down. You think this stuff's a joke, Truth Seeker? Here's Darren Wilson, Michael Brown shooter. They put out this image of him. Look at what he's wearing. 42 jersey. This is the guy who shot Michael Brown. He has number 42 on. And what's the word blues equal? We just said 59. This is a coded message, a disgusting message. It says nigger killer. That's what this is. And they're laughing at us, the people who do this. If you think it's white people who are behind this, that's a mistake. It's Zionists. It's the synagogue of Satan as referenced in the Bible. They are the creators of our language. They've coded hate into our language, not just for black people, for everybody. The word tiger equals 59, Truth Seeker. What are you thinking of right now? Are you thinking of Tiger Woods? Let's look at the word over in South Africa. Another Zionist creation. Over there, the word for nigger is kafir. Kafir, with Pythagorean gematria, sums to 33, with the K exception, 42. Only S, K, and V have exceptions. Do you think this is a coincidence? The numbers found in the killing of all the black youth, 33 and 42. Remember, Michael's a 33 name. There's been multiple Michael and Robert shootings this year. They just keep doing it over and over. In Baltimore, it's Freddie Gray. Freddie sums to 42. Gray sums to 24. Remember Jackie Robinson? They had him wear the number 42. This is some serious sickness, Truth Seeker. The word sick is 42. The word ill is 33. And think about hip-hop music, teaching people to say sick and ill as if it's a good thing. It's because the Zionists own hip-hop music and the commercial hip-hop artists. As for Obama's speech yesterday, I'll show you what's creepy about it. It was given on 5/4, a number that's coming up a lot lately. Loretta Lynch equals 54. She was nominated with 54 days left in the year. Obama's about to turn 54. All the major assassinations, murders that happen in this country, they're connected to Thelema, which is about do what thou wilt and love. The word love has a gematria of 54. And we're talking about a different kind of love than what you're thinking. But let's just look at what Obama said yesterday. Supposedly went off the cuff and came with a natural speech. Malachi, he just talked about. We should talk about love, Mr. Obama told a crowd afterward, drifting away from his prepared remarks. Bullshit. These were his prepared remarks. The coded name, the word love on 5/4. This is yesterday's speech. Because Malachi and I shared the fact that our dad wasn't around and that sometimes we wondered why he wasn't around and what had happened. But really, that's what this comes down to. Do we love these kids? Oh, Obama. Malachi, a name with 47 gematria, just like Christian, who gave the original opening remarks for the February 27th announcement of My Brother's Keeper. Of course, the word president has a connection to 47, just like the word Caesar. Julius Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC on the 74th day of the year. 74 is the flip of 47. And again, here's that gematria for love, truth seeker. Yesterday, May 4th, Obama talked about love. So let's just go back to My Brother's Keeper again. Do you understand why it's sinister now, truth seeker? See what the name's all about? MB, just in time for Michael Brown. I communicated a lot of information here. I hope it was clear enough. Remember this important gematria, truth seeker. Also notice how the word my, M breaks down to 4, Y breaks down to 7. Perhaps that's why they had boys with 47 names as well, for the beginning of My Brother's Keeper. We'll see what this program brings in the years ahead. We do need to take action as a community. All youth deserve better. All youth. The main reason I do this research, Truth Seeker, is for the kids and future generations, you know? I hate to think that more kids are going to have to grow up the way I did and all of us did and, you know, seeing all the injustices of this world that don't need to exist. I love kids, but I don't want to have any kids because I don't want to bring any kids into this world. I mean, that's not a pleasant feeling. I wish it wasn't that way. I explain that to a lot of people and they say, no, Zach, the world needs your genes in it too. You got to have kids. And I just say, you know, I'd feel guilty bringing kids into this world, seeing what it's all about. It's not the future any kid deserves right now, what's going on in this world, Truth Seeker. In Jewish gematria, the word kids equals 113. It's 11:30, and I'm signing off. Until next time.